I don't want to see. There's something about Paulo Costa to me for the way that he's handled himself, especially recently. I kind of don't want to see him get rewarded, right? A Robert Whittaker fight at this point is like, it's one step down from the title, right? Like if you can beat Robert Whittaker, you're guaranteed a title shot at this point, in my mind, right? So to put Paulo Costa in that position, I don't really feel like it's as warranted or deserved as some of the other guys like in the top 5 maybe. But as you said, a lot of those guys have already fought Robert Whittaker and have lost to him. So yeah. Why not?
I mean, Marvin Vettori, same thing. I mean, he hadn't fought Robert Whittaker, and that's why I said to Robert, I said, why are you having this fight? It's a dangerous fight for both men. He said, well, he's one of the few that I haven't fought. So Robert, being the way he is, having the attitude that he is, and just being the type of fighter that he is, I'm sure he'd have absolutely no problem with it. But going back to Hamzat for a second, you were saying, they might make a fight at 185. Hamzat and Paulo Costa. I mean, that would be good, because you're saying, put him in for a title fight, that's too soon. But he does have 6 wins in a row now. 5 of them just demolishing his opponents. Didn't get hit again against Kevin Holland, but he was talking a lot to Paulo Costa last week. So that would be a good fight.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all, actually. Now I'm way more excited for that fight. I would like that fight so much more than Whittaker versus Costa.
Yeah, Paulo Costa, Hamzat Chimaev. I mean, that gets me high. That gets my juices flowing. I like that.
Especially, I was just trying to look up. Like, I don't know what Costa's takedown defense is, but I feel like it's very, very high. Like, it's crazy high. He's not been taken down a lot. So seeing a true 185, right? A true 185-pound man. If Hamzat could do that in the wrestling department against him, then yeah, I don't know who else you match up against him. But saying all that, I would like to see. I was going to say, if Pereira beats Adesanya, I think Whittaker versus Pereira has to be the next fight.
No. And everyone seems to think I have this fucking hard on for Israel Adesanya. Do you know what I mean? Which is weird, because Izzy went through a phase of thinking I was a hater on him. Do you know what I mean? I think if Izzy loses to Pereira, I think his reign of dominance has been strong enough to warrant another fight, a rematch. And granted, that will be 0-3 against Pereira, 2 of them being kickboxing. But in MMA, he would have lost 1 fight. And he's been a dominant champion, and he's been a superstar for the company. I think when you've got that kind of body of work, you get a rematch. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. What do you think? Do you disagree?
No, I mean, look, for me, somebody like Robert Whittaker, who's out there beating every other top contender that they throw at him, and it's like, we're right here. There's a new champion. I should, by rights, be fighting that new champion.
Fight fans, welcome back to Luxurytainment. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the matchup between Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. The two are to fight a middleweight bout at UFC 284, which could serve as a title eliminator fight. Robert the Reaper Whittaker is a former interim champion in the UFC middleweight division who had 2 title fights, both against Israel Adesanya. Unfortunately for Whittaker, he lost both of them. Nevertheless, with a professional record of 24 wins, 6 losses, he's ranked first in the UFC middleweight rankings, which makes him a great choice for another title fight. But in order to get another crack at Izzy, Whittaker needs to beat Paulo Costa first. So the big question is, can he pull it off? Vegas odds are in his favor. The number one reason being that he's got a breathtaking portfolio. So far in his 10 plus years long UFC career, he's defeated 3 fighters from the current top 5 in the divisional rankings. Both fighters feel natural in the middleweight division, but both have ventured into other weight classes. Whittaker started his MMA career as a welterweight fighter, moving up a division in 2014. Paulo Costa, on the other hand, tried himself in the light heavyweight division in 2021. This didn't go as planned. He lost to Marvin Vettori by unanimous decision. After the loss, he returned to 185 pounds, beating Luke Rockhold by unanimous decision upon his comeback. The fight was crowned with the Fight of the Night award by the UFC. It really was a vintage fight, with both fighters throwing heavy punches at one another throughout all 15 minutes. The fight showed what Paulo Costa is all about. He's kind of a fighter who has no problem giving his utmost in every fight. He likes to brawl and is not afraid of getting punched hard. In most cases, this strategy worked out for him. He has a professional record of 14 wins, 2 losses, 11 wins by either knockouts or technical knockouts. And what's interesting is that 8 of those wins happened in the first round. At 185 pounds, no fighter has had much success defeating Robert Whittaker unless their name is Israel Adesanya. Whittaker defeated fighters like Darren Till, Gerard and Kelvin Gastelum after losing his belt to Adesanya in 2019 before having the chance to reclaim the UFC championship. In the rematch, he lost by decision to Adesanya. Still, he quickly got back on track by defeating Marvin Vettori by majority decision at the UFC Paris event. Paulo Costa, who has a record of 14 wins, 2 losses in mixed martial arts, recently defeated former middleweight champion Luke Rockhold. The victory ended Costa's 2-fight losing streak, including losses to Adesanya and Vettori. Paulo Costa likes to throw himself at his opponent straight away, aiming for an early finish. Robert Whittaker, on the other hand, prefers a more meticulous approach. The evidence of this is that each of Whittaker's previous 6 wins happened by decision. If he's going to win at UFC 284, he's going to do it this way again. Robert Whittaker explained to Luxurytainment on his reasons for accepting a fight with Paulo Costa, who he says is as dangerous as anyone he has fought. While the 31-year-old could have waited for the winner of the title bout between Adesanya and Alex Pereira.
They don't want to dance.
So there it is, Israel Adesanya and Yoel Romero. They go the 25-minute distance.
I believe that Israel Adesanya fights to the level of his opponent. So if you're Adesanya, he fought the smart fight. You stay on the outside. He chopped that leg apart, and he picked his punches and did what he did. And you better believe that Paulo Costa is going to go after him, and that fight should be ridiculous.
Yeah, Paulo Costa after the fight tried to rush the cage with like his manager or something. Security had to come and throw him out.
Oh, the buffoonist ignoramus is left. I was scared he's going to his hand and throw it at the fence.
He went crazy tonight and jumped over the gate and was going crazy. We threw him out.
Adesanya is nothing. Adesanya is the most shameful champion I have seen ever.
I think he's just a stan. He's my biggest fangirl, and that's why he keeps traveling around the world trying to watch me fight.
Australia's first UFC champion also revealed he felt compelled to fight on the hyped Perth card, given he was forced to withdraw from the company's West Australian debut 4 years ago. Whittaker told Luxurytainment, "I'm excited about this fight. Obviously, one of my options was to wait and see who the winner was between Adesanya and Pereira, but I don't want to do that. I don't like to wait. I've had 2 fights this year and I wanted 3, plus I've beaten just about everyone else in the division. So while I'm not looking past this guy, he's put a lot of people away. Once I beat him, it assures me a title shot. And once I get that title fight, the future will be decided from there." Boasting an outstanding run at middleweight, Whittaker has lost only 2 of the 14 bouts he has had, both against reigning champion Adesanya. Costa, meanwhile, bounced back last starts from consecutive defeats and the only 2 losses of his career by defeating former UFC champion Luke Rockhold at UFC 279. Elsewhere, Costa also boasts one of the most colourful Twitter accounts of any fighter on the UFC roster. However, Whittaker admits to knowing zero about the Brazilian's social media antics. Robert Whittaker told Luxurytainment, "I don't follow his account, and I'm sure it won't surprise you to learn I don't follow the accounts of any UFC middleweights. I have to fight them, so I don't want to humanize them like that." So we at Luxurytainment mention if he even heard about his famed secret juice. And Whittaker grinned and said no, but I do know he's a dangerous guy, super athletic, got some power, and he's quite well rounded. He's as dangerous as anyone I fought, that's for sure. But in saying that, I know I'm the best fighter in the division and I can handle him. I'm more powerful than he is, I'm faster, my technique is better, and I've got a wider range for that fight game, so that's my thoughts. Back in 2018, Robert Whittaker was set to headline a UFC 221 title bout in Perth against American Luke Rockhold, but was forced out late following a string of medical issues, including a serious case of chickenpox. Perth is also where Whittaker made his professional debut way back in 2009, beating Chris Tallowin by first round technical knockout at XFC 14. "So Perth feels like my backyard," he said, "and I owe those guys a fight. Having to withdraw from that fight in 2018, those things play on my mind heaps, because I know I have a huge fan base here in Australia, and I owe all of my success and my popularity in the sport to my fans here. I know that, so when people come to see me fight, they book flights, book accommodation and tickets, all of it. So for me to then not fight, it leaves a real sour taste in my mouth. I feel like I've let them down, so it would be great to fight in Perth for this one." So Mystic Zach predicts Whittaker wins this fight against Paulo Costa. So guys, who do you have winning? Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and have a great day.